Here's a book by Mikael Olsson called Södrakull, Frösakull, which I suppose is Swedish names for places. It's a Steidl book, and it's essentially a book about architecture. Let me just show you what this looks like inside. So you see it's the interior of the dust jacket, because this is a little bit too wide for this presentation, but I'll try to make it work. So this is what this looks like. This is a little easier to read, has some text in it, and these are the two main buildings portrayed. They were designed by this architect here, and here we go into a Södrakull. I don't know whether that's how it's pronounced. Swedish speakers will hopefully excuse my bad pronunciation. So it starts off like this. When I first looked at this book, looking at the first pages, I thought, oh well, never mind. But it actually turns out that there are a lot of really good images in this book. I'm just not so crazy about these first images, but it gets better and better. Never mind this one. This is one of those books that might have benefited from a little bit of editing. I don't know, your mileage might vary, and your taste might be different from mine, of course, too. But now we're getting to the more interesting parts very slowly. So essentially this is portraying, if you will, this building from all kinds of angles, looking in, looking at details. Looking, from the outside, showing some of the environment. It's a nice library, of course. That's what my library looks like. Actually, it doesn't. Okay, so the first part is maybe a little bit underwhelming. Here's Frösakull, the second part. This is, I think, where the photography gets a little bit more interesting, at least for me. You remember this bit here. It was in the inside of the dust cover. No, it's on the cover of the book, the canvas, whatever that is, printed on. By the way, this is an interesting photographic device that I think I saw that in another book presentation that I made just a little while ago. Two images that are almost the same, except they're not. Working with repeat images or with images with slight variations is one of those things that can work really well in a contemporary photo book. If you watched all my book presentations, you'll remember Mikael Schmidt using the same image, I think 3 times at the end of one book. Also, if you know the history of the photo book, this book towards the city from the 60s, made in Japan. Forgot the name of the author, but that uses repeat images quite a bit, including a fade in and fade out effect at the beginning and end. I don't know whether I have enough time to show you the whole book, but I think by now you really got the idea. Some of these images are very nice. I'm just going to skip the rest. There's a bunch more stuff at the end. There's some information about the people involved, an interview with a photographer, and some other information. Oops, this is still the interview. I thought there was some other information, an essay. So this is Mikael Olsson's Södrakull, Frösakull.